Hello,
What's up, children?
hello. How y'all doing?
So I know some people out there, does everybody out there know what Carvin and Ivan do? Yeah. Some of you do and some of you don't. Okay, before we get to anything, let's break it down because we know producers, writers, but we kind of don't. Explain individually what you guys do as Carvin and Ivan.
Well, some of these children in here I know on a personal basis because they're a part of our Dash program.
Right.
And in our program, we definitely make a point to cover what we do as producers. A producer is a lot of different roles in the studio. The misconception that a producer is somebody who makes beats and that's it is the wrongest idea of what a producer does. Like, a producer is the person in the studio that oversees the entire process from beginning to final product that you hear on the radio. And it, through the entire aspect of production, we put the track together, we oversee the songwriting. If there's not an artist in place yet, you have to shop it to the right artist that's gonna take that song and deliver it. If there's an artist that you're writing for, you have to make sure that you can sit in a room and vocally produce that artist to make sure they give you the proper performance.
So that's a whole nother thing, vocally producing, and then the aspect of people just thinking that it's just about a beat, because most people don't know vocally producing.
Yeah, you have to sit in a room and, well, not a lot of vocalists need vocal production. Like Beyonce would not need you to feed her notes.
Okay, say you're in the studio with like Jennifer Lopez or Rihanna, she would need little.
Rihanna would, yeah.
Okay.
You would have to sit in there if whoever wrote the song. 9 times out of 10 is going to sit there and tell her this is how I want you to deliver the song. This is what this lyric meant right here. This is how I want you to, this is the character I want you to get in. I want you to hit this note like this. Don't hit the run like that. And if you can't do it as a producer, you have to find somebody that can do it for you. Like there's a lot of people that get vocal production credits on a lot of songs. So now that you got that aspect covered, once the song is recorded, then you have to go into the mixing stage of the song, which is you have to oversee it with a mixing engineer. You have to take all the music and separate it. If it's drums, you have to make sure that you have the kick drum separated on one track, the snare on another track, the hi-hat, the piano on its own separate track, and so on, making sure that all of the vocals are in their proper places. Before, back in the day, people would actually sing the entire, if there was a chorus on the song, they would sing it in each spot. Now people,
with the verse.
With the verse. Now people would just sing the chorus in one section and then just fly it. We call it flying vocals. You move it around from section to section. And you have to be pretty good at math to know where the next hook has to be flown in. So those of you that suck at math, I'm sorry, you can't make it as producers.
That's me.
But and then once it's mixed, you take it to mastering, and then it can be on an album and be ready to be played on the radio.
But most people don't. Okay, so but between the two of you, is that all you, Ivan, or
that's
is
both of us?
That's both of you
Yeah.
guys. But so what do you guys do separately that's different that makes you guys who you are?
Well, for every process, Ivan handles all of the music. I handle all of the lyric. If I have a music idea, I take it to Ivan. If he has a lyric idea, he brings it to me. And the idea is that he oversees every musician, anybody that comes in that has to do with the music, it's his job to take care of it. Anybody that comes in that wants to write, sing, vocal arrange, vocal produce, I deal with that side. So I would normally do most of the vocal production. If there's an artist there who can sing, most of them sing too much, which people don't understand. Like, you'll get an artist that just over-sing. And it's like the record don't require you to sing and riff from word to word. How about you just say the word in tone to get the character and the point across, and then we'll have a record. Then in the ad-libs, you can go crazy. But as far as the storyline, we need to hear each and every word so people can follow the story. So in vocal production, that's the process. So you give me your character, vocal performance, attitude, presence, believability, and then we have the vocals. and then Ivan can tell you what they do on the music side.
Well, no, let me ask y'all this. How long have y'all been doing this? Because it seems like you got it down to a science where but it couldn't have been always like this.
Yeah, it's been like this. At where we came up in the school of A Touch of Jazz, Jazzy Just production company, it was something we learned from the very beginning. And the idea is you need to find your role, define your role, and be in that position. Play your position. So, yeah.
So at the point where, because most of you guys are like, y'all are all high school, right? Everybody's in high school pretty much?
No.
No? Got some older people? It sounds like a deep voice.
College.
College. All right, so at the point of high school and college though, we'll just say high school and college because we got everybody in here. What do you suggest to the kids? Like, where do you start? Is there certain classes? Or did y'all just, once you left school, that's when you got into the school of A Touch of Jazz? You had no idea about the schematics and stuff?
Touch of Jazz, we call it A Touch of Jazz the School of Hard Knocks because we got hands-on experience, which is, today it's easier because like for us to do what we were trying to do, we had to find somebody that had a studio. Like back in the day, having recording equipment wasn't a very expensive task. It was hard to do. Like, there was no such thing as I'm gonna have a bedroom studio and think you can have a professional sounding material. And we had to go to someone who had a facility where we can learn those type of skills. And what's that?
No, I was just gonna say, so that means that was a lot of y'all free time that you weren't getting paid for, that you had to spend on learning. A lot of people don't know that in this business, you work for free for a long time before you can get
That's a
some
lot
money.
of your life, yeah.
So, because I don't want them to be shocked when they go into a studio and they're like, we're not gonna pay you, but you can learn, you know?
No.
How long must one, go through that process, you think?
Well, let's put it this way. Let me be clear.
Okay.
In 1983, I wanted to be a rapper.
Damn, you old?
Right, I'm old. I'm working on it. 41 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. In 1986, I put out a rap record.
Okay.
1988, I put out another rap record. 1998, I landed a record on the Love Jones soundtrack and Big Willie Styles.
So that's like 15 years.
Right. And that still hadn't gotten to the point of the beginning of our success. Because the success actually happened.
That was before our 10-year run that we've had so far.
Right. So that's a long time for working for free.
Yeah.
All right, so and can you get from some people who aren't familiar with your music, the big reason that we're celebrating Carvin Ivan at this moment, if you don't know, is that they've had, let me do this right, 10 Grammy nominations and 10 songs, and one song on the top 10 list in the past 10 years. Is that the way it goes? In the past 10 years, y'all had a song on the top 20 or top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Do you think, what are some of those songs? So people can kind of.
Well, we definitely started with Music Soul Child, Just Friends, and Love by Music Soul Child, I Have Crazy, Music Soul Child, Don't Change.
Then we went into, I'm old.
I'm
old.
We all know now.
I mean, y'all know I'm old, so my memory fails me.
Okay, all right.
But Faith
Evans
again.
Jaheim, Find
Keisha
My
Cole,
Way Back.
Keisha Cole and Tupac.
Keisha Cole, Tupac.
Play your cards right. We had Raheem DeVaughn, Customer.
Yeah.
What would y'all say that Philly had to do with you and your sound?
Philly is a real city.
Yeah.
We call it the blue collar music city.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that Philly is very real. You don't, no matter how much you think you might have made it, how big of a star you think you are, there's always people in Philly that let you know otherwise. So, and where we came from in A Touch of Jazz, when we first started, it was like 16 producers and songwriters. And eventually, over the years, it got scaled down to 6 producers, which were the ones instrumental in music. So, well, Jill Scott's first album and Music Soul Child's. And Floetry. And besides me and Carvin, we had Dran Vidal. And you had Keith Pelzer and Darren Henson. I say those names because those names were the people that kept each one of us grounded. When we were in there, no matter what you thought you just got a record placed on whatever artist was hot at that time and you came in there feeling yourself in the studio, you always had 5 people ready to let you know, son, it's not like that. So I think with Philly, the realness and the sincerity and honesty that we have in the city keeps you from feeling like, you're bigger than what you really are.
Yeah, what's crazy is we met with Lionel Richie. I don't know if any of you guys know who Lionel Richie is.
Nicole Richie's daddy? Anybody? Nicole Richie?
I'm curious to find out if they know who Lionel Richie is.
Well,
No? Yes?
Yeah, we know Lionel Richie.
Lionel
You
Richie
in college. Don't count.
Lionel Richie is one of the greatest songwriters that of all times. So if you're aspiring to be a songwriter, find out who he is. But we met with Lionel Richie and we played him music. And he sat and he listened to it, and he stopped and he was like, man, y'all from Philly, ain't y'all?
What was it?
And he said, man, Philly music, man, is so real, man. It's like I can't sing this music because I'm pop, but he was like, man, it's so real. Like you guys have like the realest lyric, realest music, realest essence of life in your music is incredible. I was like, wow, that's a good thing. So yeah, real city.
That's funny. That just made me think of another question. So what do you think is the realest song that you ever wrote or ever came up with? I could say wrote and produced. Really?
Can I answer that?
You can.
The realest song is Don't Change.
Ooh.
Because I remember when he called me and was telling me, and I let him elaborate on that too. Because I know this true story.
Every song is a true story.
I heard.
Every single record is a true story.
He called me and told me like I have a concept. I don't have a lot of lyrics, but these are the words. I'll always love you when your hair turns gray, and I'll always love you even if you gain a little weight. And that was like part of the beginning of it, and I was like, I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Just as long as your love don't change.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was, in a relationship at the time, and we were playing. She was like, man, I'm gaining weight. You ain't gonna like me if I'm fat. I said, no, I'll love you if you gain a little weight. I was like, oh, this would be a great song. But the key word is little weight.
And you single now, so that must mean that she gained a lot. So
love change. Didn't mean the love change. I said as long as your love don't change.
Oh, the love,
obviously,
right?
Yeah, she changed. Yeah, absolutely.
So let me ask you this then: how much does life experience, or what do you need to be a great writer and producer? Because it sounds like for a writer, you need to have a lot of life experience, and as far as producing, you need to know music. It's not just about today, right?
You have to be not self-centered, because a lot of people have egos and they think everything revolves around them. I can't count the many times people come up to me and tell me, yeah, I'm hot. I make beats, I'm hot, you gotta hear me. I sing, I kill it. Beyonce ain't got nothing on me. And I'm like, okay. And,
it's a lot.
And a lot of it is people feeling like it's cool to have confidence and have some type of swagger about what you do. But I think when you're making songs that a lot of people are gonna hear, listen to, and experience and be attached to, you can't be attached to your person too much. You have to take into account a lot of other people out there. You gotta take how other people react to different feelings and different emotions out there. So you have to kind of take yourself out of the situation and write for people. It's almost like a service industry. You gotta be a servant of the people when you're writing songs and producing music.
Customer. I'm sorry, I just thought that. Who said it?
They don't need to know about that song.
Oh,
But,
they know about that?
yeah,
That's
they
Raheem
know that,
Devon. What?
Yeah.
I know customer, right?
Yeah, and the
Google
basic
it.
idea too is like, it's just truth. Like every record is true. The reality of writing a song is like writing a story. You have to tell a story, but if it's your story, you can't get specific. You know what I mean? Some people, when they create records, they want to tell you about their tan shoe line and when they lived on 32nd Street and their mama used to cook cornbread, and it's like that's too much detail where those details begin to separate
you from everybody else.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But when you can keep the story general but true, that everybody can fall in that category of the story. They can take you out of the story and put themselves in the story. That means that you've done a great job in songwriting.
So let me ask you got a lot of folks in the audience. A lot of y'all want to be in the music business, right? In some form or fashion. You are so serious. I can't wait for you to do this song thing. Oh, but let me ask you this. What's the lesson that you would tell them, teach them, that you don't want them to learn for themselves? You know, some things you want them to learn for themselves, some things I'm going to tell you now.
Right. Don't, like I said, don't be overzealous. Don't be full of yourself. It's better to be humble and step in a room and blow the place up than be loud and act like you know everything and go in and crash and burn. Be a silent assassin. Amen. That's it.
Word.
Church. Now, I would say the root cause for why people do what they do today and is not as good as people say it could be is because a lot of times people do it for the money. When we were coming up, we were struggling. You know, we came from humble backgrounds, we came from poverty, and we knew that there was potential to make a lot of money. But I don't think we went into the studio one day saying, hey, I got an idea for a song that's gonna get us rich. So I think at some point you have to understand that your passion is what's gonna keep you going, because you're gonna have some dark days in the music industry or any other industry, any other job that you go out there and you try to take on. It's gonna, you know, for you to get to where you gotta go, you're gonna have some periods where you're gonna have to do it for the love and know that the reward is gonna come later. So I always say, you know, respect is the ultimate currency. When you can do your job with integrity, you can do it knowing that I really did the most outstanding job I could have done. People will notice, and when people see that you do something and you value it and you really love it, they will be lining up at your doorstep ready to cut you some checks. The minute they see that all you care about is, well, I'm gonna do just enough so I can get another check. Then they're gonna feel like just the same way you feel when you go to, you know, a fast food place and you got cold fries. Yeah, somebody just throw your food on the table. You feel like, I'm not coming here again. It's the same thing.
I was online and I was watching these two commercials and I thought about y'all. Y'all know about the controversy between the LeBron James Nike commercial and the controversy between the Michael Jordan Nike commercial. Yeah. And it's basically an argument of skill versus work. And basically Michael Jordan is saying to LeBron, like, maybe I shouldn't have acted like this was so much of a God-given talent as much as work. What do y'all think is the percentage of skill versus work in what y'all do?
Man,
that was a good question, wasn't it?
That's a great question. That was a great question. Honestly, you know, what we profess to, what we live by is determination beat talent any day. And the idea is that if you're determined to be the best, you'll never believe that you arrived. Because even once you've reached the point of being great, you still think you haven't done enough and think you can be better. So most talented people that I know are lazy. They know that they can do it, so they really don't push as hard. They don't go in the booth and sing crazy and do all of the runs that they could do or find a finessing style because they're so talented. It's like, I'll do one take and I'm good. But the person who can't sing that well, but is determined, will go in and give you character and give you everything that you need on the record to be a perfect record. So again, in watching and in growing, determination beat talent any day. The reason why I know that, living proof.
And even to add on to what he's saying, even a lot of the, I'm gonna stick to the subject of producers. Even with producers that we hear about nowadays, Kanye is the hardest working producer out there.
I was hoping you'd bring him up.
Kanye cannot play an instrument, can't play a lick, all right? And Kanye knows how to get people to see his vision. He brings musicians. If you look at the album credits, those of you that bought it and not downloaded it, if you look at his album credits, you'll see that it's like a who's who of musicians, a who's who of fellow rappers that came in and helped him help him get his vision out. And he has no shame in saying, hey, this person can do this better than me. And I think he keeps working hard because he knows that talent he has is not God-given talent. Like, and I know a lot of producers who, were raised in the church and have perfect pitch, and all they do is critique every day. They sit around and they talk about someone who has a hit record or, a popular song out there, and all they do is talk about it and nitpick about what they could have did and what they didn't do and how wrong that was. And never let their talents really get them to where they need to be, because like they're so talented, I think the world is missing out on their gifts. So I think you have to work hard, regardless of your shortcomings as a producer, songwriter, or any other field you choose to be in. And I think that's the key, and I think that's the reason why we're still in the game and we plan on being around for much longer than that.
All right, 2 more questions, we're gonna get to work. I wanna ask you to explain, you guys are nominated for a Grammy again, well, 5 Grammys again for 2011, and a lot of people don't realize the work that goes into the process of going to the Grammys and why, like Carvin, you kind of broke down why it's important for you guys to be forced to go to the Grammys, because y'all don't always wanna go, but thank God your management is like, you need to go. Why is that?
Shout out to Jerome Hips and Michael McCarthy.
That's right, the guys with the suits on.
Yeah, those are the suits. Y'all know the suits.
They green.
Yeah. But it's important for us to be there because, again, we don't promote ourselves. Like, we're not the, you ain't gonna see us in the video like Diddy, or, our records ain't gonna start off
Except for
like
Girl Next Door, because y'all was in there.
we was young.
And a Sierra video or no?
Never.
Okay.
That was
That was Rain Down. Okay.
Yeah. But we don't promote ourselves like that. We don't go on the top of somebody's track and be like, another Carvin Ivan production. It's like the record, the music speak for itself. So going to those events, we have to be there because the people know our names, but they don't know our faces. So when we get to meet them, you make friends, and then those things may turn into business opportunities.
And then songs, there you go.
And then songs, yep.
And lastly, before we start to working, can you explain to them why you're here, why be involved with kids at all, because you could just make music and make money, the whole time. Why is this important to you?
Well, first we gotta thank, the African American Museum for allowing us to be here to show you guys what we do and give you guys an insight into our world. PNC Arts Alive for making a contribution towards the program called Lens Legacy, and this is the inaugural offering right here. We're the first ones to kick it off. And also, you gotta thank GPTMC. They're working along with you guys,
It's the life.
It's the life, shout out. And we're here to really promote what we do with our Dash program as well, besides just telling people how we make songs. Our Dash program is something that we do in conjunction with Brandon Pankey and Jerome Hips and Michael MacArthur. And we decided a while back to get involved and try to reach out to kids that were just like us, who wanted the creative outlet but didn't have it. And I think what a lot of times when we see our society is a lot of kids that really don't have a positive influence in their lives. And I think when you can mentor someone, whether they can end up being a songwriter or producer like us, it's irrelevant. As long as you can make a positive impact and you help that person find confidence in themselves to be greater than they thought it could be, I think it's gratifying. So we're making sure that through this and future endeavors, we can highlight what we're trying to do. And it's expanded into Baltimore, the Dash program.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's going to expand into DC and other cities, LA, Seattle, Washington, who knows where in the future, but we're trying to make it a national program where people like these children here can find something to really look forward to and have other people there, mentoring them and helping them reach the goals that they're trying to reach.
What's incredible is every time we go to the Dash program, we laugh because it's like, I wish I had that when I was trying to get on. I wish I had that access. I wish I had all of that knowledge Because now I would, we would be a beast. But the beauty of it is like now we can give back. And really the whole idea of it is that to grow up in a situation where you don't have a father at home, to grow up in a situation where there's not much money, to grow up in a situation where you're struggling to survive and you're watching TV and you're seeing every picture of success, but you don't see it when you go outside your front doors. It's like no one gave us that option. And bumping into Jazzy Jeff was just like a idea or a hint or a possibility that, I can do this one day. So if I can give that same feeling of hope to know like, you know what, I can get it. I'm around the people that's getting it and I'm getting the knowledge that they have. So now I'm gonna take this and apply it to my life so I can make life better for me and my family and my mother and father and so on and so forth. So this DASH program is about that. It's like giving the opportunity for success. Yeah.
That's what's up. Now y'all gonna teach us how to make a hit song or what? What we doing? I heard it's real easy.
Not easy.
Right.
No, seriously, because we're gonna get to work.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to get to work? I'm so serious.
We
You
do
look
this
like
all day long.
all right.
We ain't doing nothing.